And we are live. Welcome, everybody. I hope you guys are having a great evening. Let me check my mic setting. Yep, we're going to change it over to this. Hopefully that sounds better for you guys. And today is an awesome day, so hopefully we can get the sound good. So if you guys can hear me okay, hit the thumbs up. I'm going to check everything over here. Audio looks good on my end. Okay. Hopefully you guys can hear me all right. So that sounds good. I got some thumbs up in there. We are live. All right. So this is a massive wave behind me. Okay. This is how we're going to start the live stream off today. This is a massive wave behind me. I am not surfing anything like this. That's how you die. And I like life too much and I like you guys too much. But this wave, I can't put my fingers disappear, guys. Let's see. Anyway, this wave behind me is what's coming with gold and silver, okay? And if you think we're at the top already, you don't understand what's coming. Okay, that's why we're showing a tidal wave behind us, okay? There's a surfer this way. There's a surfer right down there. And if that guy falls off that board, and if he doesn't cut that direction really fast, this way, really fast, he's gonna die. It doesn't matter what kind of life jacket you've got on for this or flotation device that you can use. That's like a massive, I don't know, 10-story building crashing on you. But gold and silver is going to be doing this. If you guys don't understand that, then you're missing everything that we're trying to share with you guys on this channel and a lot of other stacking channels. Now, you got to remember, we're going to have ups and downs, okay? So I fully expect at some point, we're going to be going down to test a 200-day moving average. I don't know when that's going to happen. It should have happened months ago, shortly after we breached above 50. We never really did it. And now those moving averages have moved up. So I think we're sitting at, for gold, a moving average of 200-day moving average. I think it's right around $3,800 or so. And for silver, you're looking at about, I think it's at about 52 or so. So I have a hard time seeing us get down there. I think there's too much momentum. I think there's too much excitement in the market. So I don't see us going down to those numbers, but it's healthy to test them. We haven't tested those yet, guys. So I'm very curious to see what happens. So the advice I'm going to start off with giving you guys right now is you've got to be prepared for pullbacks, okay? And here's my definition. A crash is 30% decline or more. Okay, that's going to be a crash. And if there's a crash, you've really got to figure out what's going on. You've got to understand your strategy before a crash happens and what to do when a crash does come. Because a lot of people start selling, and when those people start selling, that's when they take huge losses. Sometimes a crash is only going to be 30, 32, 35%, and then it's going to start making its way back up. Look at what happened in 2020, right? With the pandemic. Other times, 1929, you have something like a 90% crash, and it doesn't come back for, I don't remember the exact number, but it was like 30 years or something like that it took before it returned. Maybe it was 25 years. We could have things like that. All right, a correction is anything that's 20% to 29%. Okay, those can happen, and when those happen, it's important to understand whether it's going to turn into a crash or what the fundamentals are that are causing that. Okay, so if either of those two happen, we're going to cover that on this channel. If that happens, I don't anticipate either of those happening right now. The only way I see that happening potentially is if we have an everything crash, and I don't see any mechanism to do that right now. So it would have to be something very catastrophic, an SHTF, a black swan type event that happens that freaks everybody out. And I will talk a little bit about how do you prepare for these kind of things today as well. And then you've got a pullback, okay? A pullback is going to be anywhere from about 10% to 19%. And those are going to be, substantially, they're going to feel substantial at the beginning, but they're really not going to be too big right there. And when you're looking at it, what we had on Friday last week where we jumped all the way up and then on Monday it came back down. To me, that really was not a pullback. It was more of what I would call a dip, and that's anything from 0 to like 10 to 9%. And what do I call it a dip? Well, because I call Friday a blip. Okay, it wasn't really like a new all-time high that stuck around and just stayed there. It is something that jumped up very quickly on us, and then there were mechanisms put in place to try to bring it back down, which they were successful with. But if you look at the spot price, it's going back up. And so we are seeing that there's still a lot of demand there, and the bankers are losing control. Okay, that's the key here. So those things can happen. However, I don't really see that happening until we probably get pretty close to or exceed $100 in silver, and probably over 5,000 on gold before we're going to have those pullbacks. I'm going to show you guys some charts today. We're going to talk about that a little bit. We're going to talk how to get prepared. And I'm going to go through a bunch of posts on X that have some weird stuff that happened today, as well as what can we anticipate is going to happen. Where's the gold and silver price going? And then we're going to go on to a couple online bullion dealers, and we're going to see, can we buy any silver or gold today? Okay. I think you're going to find that a lot of them are out, which is really interesting too. But more importantly, this is Ask Surfer, so we're going to go through your guys' questions, but I'm going to try to hit as much of that as we can. We've got an hour today for this. And then at the top of the hour, we're going to be doing a members only stream. So if you guys are members, I've sent out the invite. If you did not receive the invite, please send me an email, stackingsurfer@gmail.com. Put in the subject member, and then I need your YouTube handle, okay, your YouTube name. A lot of you did not put that in there, so if you forgot to put that in there, please go back and put it in there. And then I need your email address. If you want to go a step further, it's always great for me to have mailing addresses so that it simplifies things when you guys go to win gauze. It's just good for us to have it in the my little private database that I'm keeping for you guys. I'm looking to do newsletters soon. We'll start getting those out, as well as also kind of a buying club that we're working on to be able to help you guys get deals better than you can from any bullion dealer. Now, those are far and few between. They only come every once in a while. So it's not something I would count on being the only thing you do to buy. I still highly recommend using Miles Franklin. If you want to, I'll put it up here on the banner for you guys. You just send an email to Andy, info@milesfranklin.com. In the subject, let them know Stacking Surfer sent you and that you would like to talk about metals. And then in the body, go ahead and put what you're looking to buy and purchase. Okay. They will match anything that I've thrown at them so far price-wise, but they usually beat everything. So for me, what I would do if you were reaching out to them is I would also send them an email that has screenshots of other sites or prices or products that you're looking at to see, hey, can you guys do this? Can you get it better for me? Okay, so that's one way to go. Another place that I go to quite a bit, I do buy stuff from AppMax. I do buy stuff from SD Bullion. I've bought stuff from JM Bullion and also from, just a second here, a couple other places I've bought from recently. Provident, I've bought from, and there's a few others that are out there too. So, I recommend having a couple places you work with. Go to your local LCS as well. So, quick thing here. I'm trying to get to 18,000 subscribers by the end of next week, or by this time next week. We've got 200 more to go. So if you guys are watching and you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Hit the bell icon down below too. That way you get notifications of all the great interviews. I've got Francis Hunt coming up, and also Eric Young from Hong Kong, working on getting scheduled for Lynette Zhang. And I'm also working on getting Bill Holter scheduled right now too. He's already said he'd come on. And then we've got Andy Scheckman coming up. So we've got some great interviews for January that are going to be happening. And if you don't have the bell icon marked, there's a good chance you're going to miss those. And you want to get them when they're fresh because everything's pretty timely. And I'll try to get those interviews out within a day or so of them being interviewed. But go ahead and hit the thumbs up too. That gets more people watching this, and it helps the channel. So, all right, let's go to the comments. I want to see what you guys have to say. We're going to kind of mix this in. So right before I do that, this is the wave, guys. This is the gold and silver wave that's coming. It's going to be massive. I'm also finding a couple other fun visuals for us to go out after here. So let's see. I found a couple of them that I'm going to put up. Okay, so we're going to do this one too. This is 1,000-ounce silver bars. Okay, so we're going to leave a little bit. I don't know about you guys, but if I could have one of these palettes, I'd be pretty darn happy. Maybe one of those blocks. It'd be pretty cool. All right, so we've got the girl at the beach. So welcome to the channel. We've got Marty Falker. Let's see. I'm always first at the party and last one to leave. Awesome. I love it. Frostbite Coins is in the house as well. So we'll do quick shout outs here for you guys' names to kind of get up there so you guys can see it up there, which is pretty fun. We've got Jake's Custom Parts in here helping us with modding. So everybody thank him. Okay, we're going to talk about the dress a little bit today too. That comes when we go to X. Okay, when we get over to X, we're going to talk about that briefly. Let's see. And we've got Melania is slinking in silver. She always dressed with a message. Okay, we are going to talk about that, guys. There's something cryptic going on here, okay? So you got to, do you know what song was being played when that happened? At least that's what I read. So we're going to hit that too. We've got, frankly, that's not funny in the house. And thank you for the super chat to help an underprivileged surfer fund. There we go, guys. It's going to help our GAW fund. How's that? Help us all out. We've got Rob in the house as well. So you guys are having fun chatting early, which is great. Yeah, I got to hurry and get my board shorts on. I'm actually in sweats. So, and this is the new surfer look right now. I'm kind of just letting it go. We're going to see how scruffy we can get down here and how wavy and curly my hair is going to go without doing a bunch to it. So my wife thought that was kind of fun. Let's see what else we got here. Am I going live now or in an hour? Right now, we're going live. And an hour is going to be the members only one. Now, if you guys aren't members yet, you can go ahead and hit down below. You're going to see join. That gives you the option to join. I've kept it super inexpensive. It's $3 a month to join. There's other levels that go up there if you want to help the channel a little bit more. I believe there's about a $10 one. And then we go into, I think, 50 and then 100 and then 200 is kind of how they're set up. So one of them gives you access to my mobile phone. It lets you text me and I'll answer your questions. Another one gives you, we'll do a coaching call once a month, and the other one gives you a couple coaching calls. I'm not super strict on the time right now until it totally fills up. But right now, I've got about 4 people doing one-to-one mentoring. We've got over 100 people that are doing memberships. So I think it's a great value for you guys. And we're gonna have fun. We're gonna roll with it. All right, we've got Joseph Vance, Danny in the house too, from LA. Hope Surfer's wife didn't get mad for him posting a pic of the first lady on here. She doesn't care and she doesn't know. So it's fine. It's not my wife. I love my wife. That's Donald Trump's wife. It's the first lady. All right, so we got some thumbs up in here. I'm going to refresh my screen over here. Let's see how many thumbs up we've got. All right, what do we got here? We got 78 thumbs up. All right, let's get it to 100, and we'll do something fun with this stuff. You guys like these, right? So we'll do something fun with that. Okay, let me scroll down, and then I'm going to start showing some of the stuff on X here. So this is a good point Craig makes here, guys. So I'm not anticipating prices are going to crash right now. I think there's too much momentum going on. And I think what we're really getting into right now is what I'm going to probably do a video on this weekend, but it's basically we're going into a world war of silver and gold. Okay. It's commodities. You could include palladium and platinum in there too, copper and a handful of other commodities that are in there. It's a war now. Okay. China wants to corner this thing. They're most likely who's behind the Asian guy videos is probably China. I see a handful of those are telling you to sell your silver. A few of them are telling you to buy silver. It's kind of confusing. They go back and forth. There's a couple dozen channels. It would take a team of dozens of people to pull that off. And it's not just creating the content, it's pushing the stuff out there. I wouldn't put it past China that they're trying to manipulate our market by using social media. Okay, they've done it with TikTok. I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing it on here. The crazy thing is that Google's basically turning a blind eye to all of that stuff. There is about 10% falsehoods in there. Some of them maybe have less than that. Some of them have a little bit more. So if you're watching those, I think there's some great information in there. The way that it's delivered is pretty fast and easy to listen to, but fact check things. Okay. Do not just take what you're hearing from that AI channel as word. Know that it could very well be a propaganda channel. And so you may be hearing things exactly the way you want to hear them. And they could be influencing you to make certain decisions. So you got to be careful of that. But when you get into this here, I think China is going to corner the market as much as they can. They're not letting silver come out. Donald Trump is probably going to retaliate with something on this. And I'm going to show you that on X in a second. And then I think what's going to happen is I think they're going to drive the price of silver high enough that people start selling more and more of it so that they can suck in more and more of it. And then at some point, once they've cornered the market as much as they can basically have the only silver supply that they're going to use to create goods and services, and they're going to turn around and jack the price way up. Okay. So I can't tell you for sure. I don't have a crystal ball, but if I were to go into the future, that's probably what I think would happen. All right. So we're going to do a silver dime giveaway in a little bit here. We did get over to 100 thumbs up. So let's see if we can get up to 150 and then to 200. We'll do some more stuff. But anyway, if we do have prices go down, don't freak out. There's a great time to buy. Now, if you just bought at the top, I believe they're going way higher. You just need to hold on a little longer. Now, if you're trying to play it, okay, you're not a stacker mentality on some of this, and you're trying to play it as a trader or an investor, you really need to be understanding the charts better. You've got to be watching, channels that go into charts every day or following accounts on X that do that to see really what you want to do for your moves. Okay. So, today, for example, I'm going to pull up my mining stocks right here. And let's see. Keep hitting the wrong button. So a lot of my mining stocks today were down. Okay. So I had, CDE was down a percent. SILJ was down 1.45%. AG was down 3.36%. And this is all when we have silver going up. Tell me how that makes any sense, right? Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Right there. You guys can kind of see it for a second. So we'll do it on this screen to make it easier for you guys to see it. But if prices go down, be happy about it. I think it's going to be awesome. All right. So we also just got 5 memberships gifted by Frostbite Coins. So Frosty, if you want to come up, I'm going to send you a link, and you can come up here in a little bit too. We got to help him hit his goal. He's really, really close to hitting 7,000 subscribers. So let me just pull him up real quick. He's got some awesome videos on history. He doesn't get as many of the views as I think he should get. But, that's how things go sometimes when you put your best content out. There are times where you just don't get it. So hang in here, guys, just for a second, and gals, while I got to find his number in here. Just shoot it over to him real quick. Okay. All right, Price Bite, I've just sent that to you. So we can come up and plug your channel a little bit if you're ready for that. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen right now. I want to show you guys a bunch of stuff on X. But before we do that, I do want to kind of go over some of the prices real quick so you guys can see them. So here we go. Here's where prices ended for the day, guys. And if you need a t-shirt, there you go. There's a t-shirt ad that's showing up. All right, here's the prices. So we're looking at gold ending at 43.30 and silver at 72.77, platinum at 21.44, palladium at 16.18. And rhodium, if any of you guys followed rhodium over the weekend, I don't know if Kitco was broken or what, but it lost like 80% of its value or 90% of its value over the weekend. That rhodium one's kind of crazy. Good luck finding someone that'll sell it to you. But these are pretty darn good numbers. Like I have no complaints about what we're seeing in the gold and silver price, except that I wish they were lower longer so I could accumulate more of them. But that's really more of a function of I wish I was stacking earlier than I did. We've got inflation. I'm going to show you guys some charts on inflation as well. So this is the first one I wanted to show you here. I know some of you may have questions in here. So if you do, try to put it in all caps. I will try to find them in here. Mods, you might have to call it out once or twice, but I'm going to bring it back down. Let's see. I'm going to bring it back down to the bottom so I can kind of stay up to date with everybody. Yeah, so this is true too. A lot of people in China are just waiting in line and buying as much silver as they can. I'll see if I can show you the bars that they're buying. They're buying 15 kilo bars, which is pretty cool. This one's kind of cool here from Sylvester. My first silver swap may be for another local grass-fed beef cow. Still have 2/3 of last spring's cow. You guys, you cannot eat silver. You cannot eat gold. If you can find ways to barter, do it. I think that's awesome. We got Chet Stacker in the house. Welcome. I would look at all three of those too. So that's a good Asian guy video. They're not all bad, but you got to be careful for the ones that just go, oh my God. If you're watching the video and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I didn't know that was going to happen. Or when they're talking about confiscation, when they're talking about these new rules, these new laws, or this insider guy, be very careful with that because there's no evidence of where that's coming from. You just got to be careful with it. All three of these are great stocks to buy. I would say on Monday, they're worth looking at because they were down today. And I still think they're way undervalued. However, just know if we have prices go back down, you're going to get destroyed in the stocks, in the mining stocks. They're going to get hit really, really hard. And so when you get down there, you'll have the option of deciding to sell them and take a loss and then rebuy them 30 days later, but you could miss the upswing. So you got to be careful. You got to understand if you're trading, you got to understand how the trading rules work. I can't give you financial advice on here. I can't tell you guys what to do. I can tell you that these three stocks are three stocks that I hold, and they're ones that I will probably continue to add more to. Let's see here. Just want to see if there's any other questions before so I don't miss anything. So we've got Incognito watches Asian guy once a day. There's I think 24 channels, and then there are apologist channels on X that are supporting Asian guy and pushing him. I mean, we're talking, this is a massive social media campaign. I've never seen anything like it. So I would say it's probably coming from and here's what I was going to show you guys earlier, Frostbite Coins. So thank you for the memberships. I really think we're probably dealing with a nation state that's doing that. All right. I hope I don't. Let's see. Okay. Trying to get to your questions real quick, and then we're going to jump into a few of these. Any thoughts on what happens to price when China starts tariffing on Monday after the holiday? So that's now. We're going to see that here coming on Monday. So my guess is we're going to see prices going up. There's probably going to be a scramble for it, and I'll show you why. I think prices are going to be going up. However, at some point, I do think we're going to have some profit taking that goes on, but I've got a feeling that it's going to be closer to 100 than it is right now. I know a lot of channels, other financial channels, are saying it's going to go way down. I don't see any mechanism for that yet, and I'll show you guys some of my evidence of it. My gut tells me it's going higher. We'll talk about this a little bit too. I think I've got one of those saved, so we'll try to hit that. It sets itself on fire. I think the trading just breaks on rhodium once a year is what happens. Trading, not trafficking. We don't talk about trafficking on here. Do not traffic anything, especially goats, chickens, and no trafficking garden vegetables. Okay, so first off, we don't know if this is even true. Okay, guys? We don't know that, and the thought was that this was sent over to China. It was in the Asian guy videos. Andy Sheckman mentioned it too, but it was a source coming out of China. We can't substantiate it. We don't know if it's actually happened. Now, I would say the evidence last Friday of it jumping up super high could be evidence of this kind of happening, but you could also say it was concerns around them stopping, silver from leaving the US as well. So until we have a news article coming from Fox or CNN that talks about this, or CNBC, we really don't have it completely substantiated. You got to do your facts, and you got to check everything, guys. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we got in here. All right, we got another super chat. So Fuzzy, thank you very much. If you only buy BU constitutional silver, are you a stacker, or is it for people buying bullion? Here's how I define the three roles that are most important. Okay, and my fingers are disappearing on me here. So I just got to do a time check here. The first one is, you are a trader if you're looking to go in and out of gold and silver positions on a regular interval. So that's going to be anywhere from hourly, daily, weekly, or monthly. Okay, you're a trader. You're trying to make a spread on buying and selling, and you're going to be paying short-term capital gains on that stuff. You're a investor if you're looking at things like the mining stocks and you're saying, hey, I'm going to hold these long-term for over 12 months. This is my opinion. And you're, just notice this is kind of fuzzy. Hopefully this gets better for you guys. And you have a definite goal in mind. You're looking to get a certain percentage return. You're going to do something else with it. That's where you start to get into that category of an investor. So, and you can be all three of these, by the way. So I'm all three. But the stacker in me is some of the trading I do with my mining stocks. Now, I had an incredible year this last year with selling some other investments. And so I'm not selling any of my mining stocks because I don't want to take any more income in calendar year 2025. So I'll wait until 2026 or later to do it. I did do some tax loss harvesting, if you guys know what that is. The other thing with it is, I do more investing than I do trading. And a lot of the mining stocks, I'm not going to be taking that money and just buying gold and silver with it. I'll probably be using that money to pay off debts. I'll probably be using that money to put into other investments. My stack is the gold and silver that I don't plan on selling, that I'm going to pass on to my family and for generations, or it's going to be used in the SHTF. It doesn't matter what's in it. It could be jewelry. It could be, art pours. It could be, junk silver, constitutional stuff. It could be, these fun coins. It could be stuff like copper. Okay, don't recommend having a lot of that, but you could have some copper that's in there. So, when you're looking at that, I think it's important to understand that stacking is less about what it is, and it's more about the methodology behind it, and you're going longer with it. All right, there's one more thing I want to show, and I'm going to bring Frosty up on in just a second here for us. So right now we just hit 130 thumbs up. Let's get to 150, and that would be awesome. Let's see if we can do it. So let me pull up one more screen. I want to show you guys, and I'm going to bring Frostbite on. Okay. And one of these days, I'm going to have some more time to have him help me figure out how to make this stuff work better for you guys. Right now, it's a little bit crazy. Okay, this was another screen I wanted to show you guys from the other day. So this, you can kind of see here in the top right corner, is the price of China, basically the China spot to the US spot. So we're looking at about $75.80 is what they're doing in Shanghai, and here in the West, it's $71.50. This is a little bit lagging behind, right? We're looking at December 31st here. So we're a little bit behind. I don't think it's updated today yet. Yeah. So anyway, the other day though, when it was at the height here, we were talking almost $10. So why is this happening? Well, China wants to suck in as much silver as they can. So that's one reason that's happening. All right. And then one more screen I wanted to share with you guys. Let's see, where is it? Make sure I pull up the right one. Yeah, okay, it's this third one. Nope, it's this one here. Okay, so I had Grok make me some charts. Okay, so I have not totally fact-checked these charts yet, so don't kill me over these things. But here's what I wanted to show you guys. Let me see if I can get this. I guess I can't get it to zoom in anymore. Maybe here. Let's see. Okay, I don't know. Did that zoom in at all? Okay, so what you can see here is this is trying to tell me that gold and silver are way higher than I called BS on that one. And I asked it another question to try to clarify that a little bit. And we went back to looking at gold, silver, the S&P 500, and CPI versus shadow stats from 1900 to 2025. And it drew me a much more accurate scale here. Okay. And I think this is really important for you guys to at least consider. Okay. I'll have to do a little more fact checking on this to make sure everything's accurate here. But what you're looking at is this yellow line is gold. Okay. So there's gold. You're looking at the blue line being the S&P 500. Okay. And this is not the value of the S&P 500 to silver and gold. It's how is it keeping up with inflation, okay? Because it's indexed here, and that's where I've got to double check this chart. And then this dark red one, which is up here, is the shadow stats, and then you see the silver line is silver, and then the red line is the CPI. And the argument I just wanted to kind of find out here on this is I still think we're below the inflation adjusted rate in real time for gold and silver, and this confirms that. Okay. So that was something I kind of wanted to do. Well, let me go ahead and bring Frostbite up to the stage. Hey, Frostbite, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, brother. How are you?
Doing good. So if you guys missed it this morning, he had a pretty intense live stream earlier today. And
It was nuts.
It was nuts. I think we had somewhere around 70 or 80 new members be gifted during a live stream. I've never seen that before.
85 new memberships gifted during the live stream. On freaking real. 949 gifted 65 memberships.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Unreal. Yeah, crazy.
So I think that's great, guys. So, memberships are a good way to support a channel. There's also a lot of great perks that come with them, so it's always good to check those out. But what I wanted to do real quick, guys, is I want to help people in the community here. And one of the ways that I can help people is by bringing them on my channel, sharing what they do with you guys, so you can consider potentially following them, giving them a subscription and, a like and a follow. So much of what we're doing comes down to community. It's important to do that. Now, we're going to do a video here soon. I don't know when we're going to do it for sure, Frostbite, but I did an auction about a year ago, and Frostbite bought some coins after the auction from me. And I sent them to him, and somehow I marked the label as hazmat. And so the package sat, these really cool coins. Let me zoom in. The package sat at the LA hazmat facility for 6 months before they shipped it out. So if you really like someone and you really want to be nice to them, you got to check that box. So anyway, we'll do a story on that. And he thought they were coming for his birthday. It came the day after his birthday. And I'm like, no, you paid for those things. And I don't know what happened to him. So yeah, that was I've never had it happen since, but you got to be careful. But one of the reasons I like Frostbite's channel, guys, is there's a lot of history. There's a lot of information you can get. He's also doing a lot of debunking on myths and misconceptions that are out there. Okay. So, at some point, I think he might have to go and do an evaluation on some of the Asian guy AI videos for us, but that's if I can get him to watch any of them.
I can do that. Definitely. No problem.
It would be interesting to kind of get your thoughts on some of those, because I know some of them I cringe. Others, they sound pretty good. It's like, hey, this is a really good short version of, and very concise, information that they put in there. So I'm not going to throw it all under the bus. I'm just going to say, hey, as a guy that has a master's degree in advertising and public relations, I can tell you that something's going on. And then I work in the AI space. That's not a guy and it's not a person. It's a team, if not teams of people that are doing that. So, what organization or country has, wants to spend millions of dollars on creating that channel and then pushing all that content out? Because it's about 20 or 30 channels. But anyway, Frostbite, I'd love to bring up your channel for a second and just point out a couple things. Let me just do this real quick, because I don't know. I've always got to close these screens around to get in here.
If I can say something about your AI piece, remember that China's a huge actor, right? We look at the counterfeits that come out of there, and a lot of people see these counterfeit coins, silver, gold, platinum, palladium. There's an adage in China that states that the only thing in China that's not been counterfeit is your mom. But even then, you want to kind of reiterate and check that. They have a massive problem with counterfeiting. However, it's not necessarily a problem because it's state supported. There's actually licenses when you go into local shops in China that are posted on the walls, and they actually state that everything in this shop is counterfeit. It's required that they notify you. The problem is the people that go there don't necessarily know that it is counterfeit. One thing about this that we have to pay attention to when we're looking at things like this, and Surfer, you kind of alluded to this a little bit earlier, is that the algorithm knows you. The algorithm knows you better than you know yourself. And when you start seeing videos that start to ring true, it's like a tuning fork. And I've used that tuning fork example. If you take two tuning forks that are the same wavelength and you hit one and you stick it next to the other one will start to vibrate. And so understanding that when you see something and initially you kind of get that weird feeling, that's your spider sense telling you that, hey, you need to stop what you're doing, look at what's going on, and validate and verify. The problem is once you start to watch that, it'll begin to understand what you're looking for, and it will feed you the stuff that sounds true to you.
Mhm.
And it is targeted.
Exactly.
It is specifically targeted, and you do have to be very careful because if you notice, all of your streams start to kind of sound the same after a while. If you go check out a site for a little while and you come back, all of a sudden now it changes just a little bit because they've added that to your algorithm and to your watch list. So be aware of that when you're watching these types of channels and look for the nuances, the third arm, or the coin that's spelled with Cyrillic in the middle of an English sentence, right? Try to find those little things. I just did a short. You pulling up the website or my site?
It's right here. Let me add it.
So I want you to go to shorts and I'll show you a great example of this. So if you look at one of the last shorts, you're going to see the one on the right with the guy holding the microscope or the eyepiece, right?
Yep.
Okay, folks, this is an AI generated video that's out there regarding the Lincoln cents, the last Lincoln cents. Anybody who knows anything about coins knows that you probably shouldn't be grabbing a metal coin with metal tweezers. Anybody who's a coin shop owner would tell you that this is absolutely not good. But yet, this is a coin shop showing you that how you should look at coins and why it's so important to buy one of these 2026 cents. And so be careful, be observant, really listen to what Surfer's telling you and watch carefully. It really does make a difference.
Well, the other thing I want to show you guys too, so you have awesome videos on here, guys. So here, there's just a lot of education that's in here. Okay. So he does US mint coins production basics here. That's important to know, guys. You've got a lot of great videos. He spends a lot of time putting the content together. Let's see. It's been a while, so I don't know if I'll find the ones I'm looking for. But here's a coin that's talking about Lexington, the Battle of Lexington. That is going all the way back to the Revolutionary War.
If you guys have a topic, let me know. I probably have something on it. I've done a lot of the commemorative $50 series. That's what you're seeing.
But here's the thing, guys. Look, it takes a while to build a channel. Every one of these videos should have a lot more than the views that it's getting. You know, these are great videos that you're not going to get this information anywhere else. So this is why I wanted to bring him up and have you guys, take a look at his channel because, we build this through community. So if you guys haven't done so yet, go hit subscribe on his channel real quick. I'll give you a second, and then we're going to do some silver dime giveaways while I talk about Trump and Melania's dress.
Can I address something in chat?
Yep, go for it.
So I want to address Jason Byers' official It says, I start to second guess myself and wonder if I should even be stacking if AI is feeding me videos telling me to. Here's the thing that I want you to understand. It doesn't matter what you're into. It doesn't matter if it's cars, if it's art, if it's stamps, if it's silver and gold, if it's Coach purses, or the number one most counterfeit thing in the world, flip flops. It doesn't matter. There's counterfeits in everything. And what's important is number one, exactly what Italian Lang said, slow and steady wins the race. Actually, it's wrong. It's actually slow and steady finishes the race, not necessarily wins the race. This isn't a race to win. This is a race to get better at, to learn more about. So what's important is surrounding yourself with people that you know give good information. Your network is the number one most important thing that you can do in this hobby. Find people who provide good, solid information, reliable information, people who have no problem saying, I don't know, let me find out. And really delve into those. Ask lots of questions, but verify everything, right? Doesn't matter if I tell you something, verify it. If Surfer tells you something, verify it. Don't take us at our word. We're fallible. We make mistakes. But you want to find people who, for the most part, understand what they're doing. They really get the information correct. They're looking out for community. Those are the people that you want to surround yourself with. Don't let a couple bad videos or some moron tell you do something, you make a mistake. Don't let those people ruin this for you.
Yeah.
Just surround yourself with good, solid people.
I think it's huge. On X, I was chatting with a guy the other day that commented on my comment about the Asian guy channel. I'm not telling you guys that it's all 100% bad. Okay. I'm not saying that. There's some really good articulation in there. There's some good points. What I am telling you is I'm getting emails from videos that are not from Asian guy that are Asian guy. It's got his voice. And then the guy shows up in the middle of the video. I've had at least 2, maybe 3 dozen of you in comments as well as in email send me videos of Asian guy and ask me questions about stuff. That's the right thing to do. It's the thing to be checking with. Yankees probably had 200 times that, right? Or at least 10 times that. So, it's not that we're hating on some channel that's new, that we're jealous or something like that. That's not the case here. What the issue is, I know propaganda when I see it. It's propaganda. Now, I don't know if it's propaganda to try to help U.S. citizens to accumulate more gold and silver before things get crazy, or if it's China trying to mess with you to get you to buy or to sell. But as Frostbite said, I'm noticing a weird, well, it's interesting, okay? They're using the algorithms and they're using, psychology and sociology very keenly here. If you think price is going down, you're going to see a bunch of videos that convince you price is going down. If you think price is going up, you're going to see a bunch of videos that are going to convince you price is going up. Now, that can even happen from my channel, from Yankee, from Frostbite, from Silver Dragons, from a lot of these channels. The algorithm knows what you keep watching and looking for. So you also have to stand back and go, if I think it's going to 100 and there's no way it could go down, is that because I'm not seeing anything that says otherwise? If you think it's only going to go down and you don't think it's going to go up, are you seeing videos like that? It goes back to the 2020 election. One of the things that happened around Facebook is everybody was in echo chambers. You were either in Trump's camp or you were in, Biden's camp, whatever. You were hearing these echo chambers of what you wanted to hear. And that can make a huge difference. People decided not to vote things that the belief systems they have. Now, anyway, I was going back and forth with this guy, and he started accusing me of having incorrect stuff too. And he said, Shanghai's not closed on Friday. And I said, well, not from what I'm reading. I gave him 3 sources from 3 different articles that talked about Shanghai being closed until next Monday, that they've got a holiday. And I sent that to him. Now, could I be wrong? All 3 sources? Possibly, but probably not. My browsers won't let me go to China. Okay, I can't go to China internet sites. my VPN won't do it. So, I can't get it from their exact site, but it's interesting to do that. All right, guys, so we hit 182 likes. Let's see if we get up to 200 here, and we'll do a couple giveaways. We're going to do at least one. But I wanted to show you this in Frostbite and get your take on it too. A couple of these, let me just pull it up real quick here from X. And then,
so while you do that, let me answer this
yeah,
last piece. Okay, my question was regarding same person, Jason Byers official. Question regarding AI is that it's probably a group in another country, but why would Asian guy want us to be stacking, why buy and sell out of the US? Misinformation and disinformation. Again, when you're talking about guiding people, I don't know if you've ever heard this. I'm sure you probably heard this, Surfer. Keep your friends close, but keep who closer?
Your enemies.
Your enemies closer. And so, in order for somebody to disrupt um, economic commerce, your thinking, your process, to have you invest in things that are not necessarily valuable, it's all economic disruption. This is a state sponsored, state acted based. It's financial warfare. Um, and when you talk about cyber warfare, remember, cyber warfare is this, right? And this is all an aspect of it. So it's war, it's engagement. And those who own those resources, those who maintain those resources win. Surfer, you said something, and this hit me hard because I had thought about this, but I never recognized it. And you said something, and folks, I need you to understand the relevance and the importance of this. China thinks in what? Destinies. They think in 100 or
Yep.
1,000 year terms. We think in 3, 4, 5, 10. Who's way ahead of us? They are
Well,
so far forward
the
thinking.
point is
We have
what
yeah.
we see today was planned before the 1900s. Before there was electricity, they were already planning on cornering the world when it came to manufacturing. These are things that have been planned for generations. They don't know exactly when it's going to come out. I mean, we're talking, we didn't even have planes and electricity at the time they were planning some of this stuff. So they couldn't have planned exactly we're going to have the internet and we're going to corner that. But they have been planning to have a destiny to take control of things, you know, to definitely their whole thing is they want to control Asia. They want to be the country that Asia. They've got major destinies. You would think based on some crazy things you see with money being spent from people that are Chinese nationals in the US, that everybody in China is a billionaire. And that's not the case. Most of their populace is still very, very poor,
Yep.
living in farm country, and you know, doesn't have a lot. But they've also been smart to not what the Soviet Union did, which was to you know, have completely closed off communism. They've done something kind of in between it. I don't know what you would call it exactly, but it's kind of like free market communism, which doesn't really exist. But there's some extent to that. But let me pull up a couple things I want to show you real quick on here and get your. By the way, hit the subscribe, the bell icon, the thumbs up. Let's see if we can get to 200. Oh, we got to 200. So we'll do a couple dime giveaway here in just a minute. And then we might be just a minute late to the subscriber or to the member only party. If you guys want to join that, it's going to be hard for me to put you in today, but go ahead and join the membership. We'll be doing another one of these next week as well. If it gets too big, we'll start to split it up by group, or we may have to do a couple of these or mix it up a little bit down the road. But go ahead and hit that. I do want to call out Tiger Stacker's channel for his super chat. Thank you. Check out his channel as well. Okay, so here's the deal I wanted to pull up on these. This one's interesting. You know, talk about you know, predictions. I'm going to be doing a prediction video here real soon. I'm waiting for the weather to get just a little bit better, hopefully tomorrow, to go make a handful of videos. But here's a prediction of 15,555 and silver at 777. So, you know, why am I pulling all of these up? If you see that I liked them here, you know, you can go to my X page and you can go see what I've been liking, okay? You can also see what I repost and retweet. So if you want to get the latest and greatest news and what I'm following and what's in my head, go to Twitter. That's where all of that stuff's being curated, okay? Follow me on there. You guys, there's great stuff on there. So this is when you could dive into a little bit more to see why, and it's based on charts. So, you know, the person's looking at very specific charts here that come down below. Well, I don't see it here now. But I will pull this up quick, guys. So when we look at the USDebtClock.org, by the way, I don't know. This is also propaganda, just to put it out there. Okay, it might be positive propaganda, but it's propaganda. This isn't coming from the U.S. government. We don't know who's putting this together, but they're pulling in a lot of stuff that could be truth, but it's also affecting how we think about things. But it's saying basically an ounce of silver in 1913 was $2.66, and the ratio to today should make it $1,180 based on the dollar and purchasing power. Okay, so they're saying it's way undervalued. All right, I'm going to go back here. I can't find the other chart there, but I want to show you this. This was interesting. This is a sign of manipulation. Do you see that frostbite at the top, how it just kind of stayed, it wouldn't go above a number? Do you see that?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely a ceiling.
There's a ceiling that's 74.55. It would not allow it to go above that. What in the world is that? How did that happen? That's
JP Morgan.
That's something. That is blatant manipulation there, guys. So you don't see that very often. And you can see it here again. A lot of posts were about this today. So I wanted to hit this. So gold didn't do that. Silver had a haircut. It just wasn't allowed to go above it. There's a lot of posts on X about that. Here's another one that talks about the reverse repo, the banks having to get emergency funding. It's gone the highest it's ever gone over the weekend. Now that could be JP Morgan Chase losing a bunch of money because of the shorts that happened last Friday.
So did you just say JP Morgan's losing their shorts?
Yes, they could be. It's very ironic and very punny at the same time. Here's another one, optimist, pessimist, LBMA. The glass is full. There's nothing in there. Hey, guys. So there's a lot of great things. Here's someone, this is a funny one where someone put a post out that basically said, Grok, remove the inferior money. And this is what was left, was the gold. So it took off the Bitcoin. So you'll get a lot of fun stuff that's on here. This is another one here that's just important for you guys to know. Berkshire Hathaway has now had 12 consecutive quarters of selling shares in the companies they own. That tells me that Warren Buffett is worried about a major stock market crash. And that's why I won't tell you guys that silver and gold's only going up. We have a big, massive stock market crash. It will pull down the mining stocks big time. And it's also going to affect spot price to some degree because people will have margin calls and they'll need to pull liquidity from somewhere. All right. This is more of those. You can see more of the haircut, and then all of a sudden the prices went down. There's a lot of slamming. This is how some people felt in 2025. I actually felt the opposite. It was a pretty good year for me. Health-wise, I felt like this a little bit. I had a few times, but I hope that's AI, is all I can say.
If it's not, I don't like laughing if people get hurt, but that's funny as hell.
It's got to be AI, okay, guys?
Yeah.
But, you know, that's the Bitcoin guys, okay? You know, people that bought near 128,000 and haven't sold. That is how they're feeling today. And I'm not going to rub it in their face too much, even though they rub everything in my face. You know, we could have the same thing happen to us at some point in short periods of time with silver and gold too. But here's mining stocks. There's a lot of great stuff in here, guys, that I go art or like that you should look at. This was interesting here. I don't know if this is if this is true or not, but I'm going to read it over to the side here real quick. And for those of you that are members, we'll be just a minute, a tad late over there. Breaking: Trump to meet with US ambassador to China at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Friday. I don't know if this happened. I don't know much about silver trade. They put some stuff out there, but it basically said, we reported last night that China had refused a 50 million ounce silver order from the U.S. As their silver new export restrictions went into play. Trump's not happy about it. Could Trump be retaliatory to it? And then when I go to Eric, that I have on quite frequently, Hong Kong, he also had a post about that too from his insider in China. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Oh, this was bankers trying to keep silver below 75. Okay, so look at that guy getting pummeled by the wind. Oh, that was kind of funny. Okay, so here we go. This on this too. So here's Road to Ruta. Bix Weir saying there are no coincidences. In 2026, everything is a sign got silver. And I heard that it was Hi-Ho Silver was being played while she was coming out. That sounds like BS to me, but it would be kind of funny. But she's wearing silver. Trump keeps talking about having a golden year, right? A golden era. So, Don Direct, and this is from David Bateman. David Bateman gave out 100-ounce bars to parents, 34 grandkids, and 10 grandkids. And so, Don, math, if we get to $250 silver, each one of them will have $25,000 per bar. If we get, which is probably, if we get to $500 silver, which is a maybe, they get to $50,000 a bar. And if we get to 1,000, which would be 100,000 per bar, is not crazy talk. Okay. So there's from some other experts. So, all right, here's the music. Okay, that's official. That's the Hi-Ho Silver, man. That's hilarious. All right, we'll stop that. So there you go, guys. There you go. So I think Trump's trying to tell us something about silver. So this is from Eric right here. This is his official. I got this from he got this from his inside source. The U.S. is trying to buy 50 million ounces, and China said no. There you go. So that's the stuff I wanted to share with you guys real quick. We'll try to get to more things more quickly on future deals. Maybe we'll go a little longer on the public one. We've just done a lot of streams this week. So Frostbite, well, I've got you on here. If you want to hold real quick, we got to 200. We're going to do 2 dime giveaways real quick here for everybody. So here's what we're going to do. It's going to be fun. Everybody's going to put in a hashtag here in the comments. Let me just pull it up here. And here's the hashtag. So it's hashtag Trump Silver. And then I am going to pull up the screen to show you guys in real time all the stuff that's coming. And then we've got 2 people in there so far. So here you go. We got 3. We got 323 watching.
Richard, you put in Trump Silver.
So want to win some silver. What did I put in?
No, I said Richard put in Trump Solver. So make sure you correct that.
Yeah, put in silver. We're still waiting for the solver. There's a lot of promises. I'm waiting to see the delivery of these promises. I will be a complete. My love for Trump is going to explode if I don't have to pay income tax anymore. That's the one I'm waiting for. Between my state and federal, I'm like 50% taxed. And yes, I know strategies and ways to not pay the taxes, but being a W-2 person is extremely difficult to do it. And my wife will not become a professional real estate investor, even though I tried to get her to do that. If she did that, I could write off a lot of my stuff, even more of it. And somehow this channel had a $10,000 loss in 2024. We'll see how big the loss is next year.
Unfortunate boating accident.
Unfortunate boating accidents happen a lot around here. But I can't tell you what that really means. Okay, so we got 2 dimes. It's going to be luck of the draw what we get in here, guys. We're going to run this twice. We're at 71. Let's get up to 100. I know you guys are in there. If you're watching on TV, pull your phone out. I'm giving you a minute, but I can't give you much more than a minute. Now, here's the rules. You got to email me, stackingsurfer@gmail.com by the end of day. Actually, by the end of day tonight, you need to email me on this one because I'm going to be preparing these tomorrow. And I don't want to miss getting them out to you. Otherwise, it'll probably be February before you get it. All right, we're at 73, 77. Let's keep going, guys. Here's the other thing I'm going to tell you. I'm going to put in Frostbite's channel again. You guys need to go and subscribe to him. You won't be disappointed. He's got some really cool videos that come up. And my issue is just having enough time to go watch them. I barely have enough time to make my own content, let alone watch a lot of other stuff that's out there. But how far away are you right now? 75. More. 75 more. There's 295 of you in here. 75 more. and he hits 7,000. I don't think that
If
would be
we
too
get
hard for us to
if
hit.
we get to 7K, I'll give away an ounce of silver. Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? We get to that, and just in honor of this, I'll give away one of these
Holy moly, the triangle coins. Okay, I got to zoom in on
triangle
that.
coins. Yeah,
All
I'll
right,
give
if
away
we
one
get
of
him to
these.
7,000 right now, he's going to do a triangle coin. Those are, I don't know, those have got to be well over
They're
$100.
pricey. They're pricey. Yeah. And that's just for the stream. If we get this while we're in the stream, that's just because you're supporting Surfer.
And we're
That's
ending the
what
stream
I'll
in
give you.
like in a minute. So hurry and put in hashtag Trump Silver, and then run over there and subscribe real quick. All right, you'll have to do a live count for us. Okay, I'm going to start pulling these real quick, guys. Let me add it to stage. Okay, we're at 87. I'm going to go ahead and draw. This is for our first dime. So what you need to do is put in this subject, silver god dime. Tell me that you want a dime. That was close. I don't know what happens if it lands on me.
You double it.
I don't want to play the Yankee game. So Jammy Dreambird, congratulations. Send me an email, stackingsurfer@gmail.com. Give me your main address. Take a screenshot of this so that I know which one it was, and then remind me it's a dime. I think I've got about 15 gauze that I've got to do tomorrow to get out to you guys. All right, I'm going to run the next one, and then we're going to go do a check on Frostbite's channel. All right, so this is for dime number 2. And can you believe that we were doing quarter gauze and they were actually worth less than a dime is today of just a few years ago? Silver Bull Precious Metals, congratulations.
What's up, Silver Bull?
Silver Bull, same thing. Email me and let me know it's for a dime. And anyway, I've got Mercury dimes and I've got Rosies. If you have a preference, let me know. All right, Frostbite, where are we at? We're going to have to do a quick count here.
57 to go. I put 47, but it's 57.
Oh,
949 was like,
I know not all 285 of you are subscribed to his channel. He's given out. Okay, look, you guys don't game this, okay? Be nice. Subscribe because you're going to watch the videos and you're going to help him, okay? It never helps to unsubscribe after something happens. But I can give us one more minute and then I got to jump over to the other stream. All right, we're going to I don't have a countdown. Do we have a countdown timer? We're going to do a quick countdown timer on my phone. How's that?
I'm at 69.47. And folks, I'm telling you this, if you guys haven't tracked these are probably about 110, 125 bucks.
Okay, we're at 56 seconds.
Pricey.
55. You guys have got to hurry and do it. 57 needed. Let's see if we can get them up. I lost. I'm unsubscribing. Oh, I missed it. It moved too fast on me.
You're like, okay, I'm resubbing.
Well, you're going to have to you got to be a subscriber to win, and you're going to have to resubscribe every Friday then when you come to the live streams.
69.56.
You know, I haven't put a video out for a couple days, and I think the last 2 or 3 days I've gone and teetered in between 1 or 2 people back and forth. It was kind of funny. But you guys will enjoy that. You'll enjoy a lot of the videos that are on there. And the other thing, I'll just give you guys a hint. Anytime you're dealing with the YouTube channel, when you subscribe, it's important that you go watch a video soon. Oh, there's the timer. All right, where do we go? Did we hit it?
Let me see. We are at, hold on, what just happened? Refresh. 69.62.
We're so close. All right, we got to run, guys. I guess we're not going to get another ounce in there, but anyway, we'll figure something else in the future here. We'll have Frostbite back on too. We'll make some other videos. Now, don't go unsubscribe if you just subscribe. That would be like the wrong thing to do. But do watch a video. Do give a thumbs up. Leave a comment. It cements you in versus the algorithm. Sometimes it's not even the algorithm. It's just YouTube will kick you out of it. So if you guys are members, send me an email. If you haven't done so already, I'll try to add you as we're going along in this next stream. And we're going to kind of play this by ear, guys, on how we get everything going. I can do about 100 people in here. I think we've got 50 that have been invited. But we would love to have you guys join it. We're going to get into more personal information in there, and it'll be a chance for people to ask actual questions instead of just typing them and then having 300 people in here, which gets harder for everybody to answer. Frostbite, I want to thank you very much, and we'll stay in touch.
So I'm going to tell you what I'm doing, and I'm going to do this just for your folks.
Okay.
I'm going to give you guys an hour. If you guys are trying to figure out, you don't want to leave, whatever.
Okay.
I have taken a snap of the participants right now. So if you're watching, there's only 36 more to go. If I get to 7K in the hour, actually, I'm losing a couple subs, but if I get it within the next hour, I will still draw. I will record it. I'll put that in there, and we will pull that.
Awesome. That sounds great. All right, guys.
I'll do that for you. So I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you very much. Talk to you soon. Thank you, everybody.